Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet.
Welcome to the coolest stuff on the planet. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Catherine.
Catherine, summer is almost here, and you know what that means?
Right.
Road trip.
Road trip.
And today we're going to take one of the most beautiful road trips in the United States. We're going to head down the Pacific Coast Highway.
Oh, I'm so there. Yeah, the Pacific Coast Highway is also known as the California State Route 1. And this was constructed starting back in 1934, but it actually took about 15 years to complete the highway. And it runs nearly the entire coastline of the state.
Yeah, and the scenery is just really breathtaking. I did the trip from San Francisco to Los Angeles several years ago, and the highway literally just winds along the coast. So the cliffs along California just drop right off into the ocean. And the stretch I did is just really popular because it's packed with stops along the way that you can visit.
Yeah, and you could drive almost the entire coast of California on the PCH, but we're just going to focus on the most popular stretch, which is that 350 miles or so between San Francisco and Santa Barbara. And you know, people always wonder, is it best to go north-south or south-north? Most people agree that north to south is best because you'll have unobstructed views of the coast. So then if you see some photo ops, you won't have to hop out the car and cross traffic and all this drama. It's easy to pull off the road and get the picture.
Exactly. And so for this trip, you definitely want to take your time, at least 2 to 3 days, and you know, like we said, there are tons of places you're going to want to stop along the way, but we're just going to touch on some of the most popular.
And the first one is Monterey, which is home to Cannery Row, which was made famous in that John Steinbeck novel, Tortilla Flat, which was about life in Monterey during that heyday of the sardine canning industry. Well, that's long gone, but the road today is full of all these cute shops and hotels and restaurants to explore.
And Monterey is also home to one of the world's most famous aquariums. You definitely want to make that a priority visit as well. It's got a great kelp forest, which kelp forests are famous in California as well. There's a penguin exhibit. They have a home to a giant Pacific octopus, and it's also really cool because there's an open sea exhibit that has giant sea turtles, hammerhead sharks, bluefin tuna, so you definitely want to visit the Monterey Bay Aquarium.
Yeah, and it's pretty rare to see that open sea exhibit.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and between Monterey and Carmel is Pebble Beach Golf Course, which anyone who knows anything about golf knows Pebble Beach.
Of course.
Yeah, and then there's this 17-mile drive, which will take you past landmarks like the Lone Cypress and Fanshell Overlook, which is where the seals tend to hang out. And then after that, you're going to drive to the artist colony of Carmel, where you can visit all these quaint cafes and art galleries and take in the Carmel vibe.
Exactly, and Carmel is very popular with the tourists, so you definitely want to plan ahead if you want to make this a spot to stay overnight, or even if you want to have dinner there.
It gets crowded, huh?
It definitely gets crowded with the tourists. If you want to spend some more time outdoors, you know, head for Point Lobos State Park, which is very nearby Carmel. It's just stunning with geological formations. You know, it's right there on the San Andreas Fault, so it's got beautiful geological formations. And it's also home to some really great wildlife like otter, sea lions, and harbor and elephant seals. So it's great for photo ops.
Yeah, and if you want to see more otters in the wild, you'll probably want to stop at the Sea Otter Game Refuge, because you'll see the otters doing a lot of really cute things like wrapping themselves up in kelp and floating together in large groups, which will make great photo ops.
I swear the otters do it. They know you're taking photos of them.
Yeah.
They're just so cute.
Yeah, they love to be on TV.
And one of the next stops is going to be Big Sur, which is one of the most well-known on this entire route. And it's known for its beautiful scenery, and this is really where things start to get gorgeous. You'll cross the Bixby Creek Bridge, and it's considered one of the most famous and most beautiful on the Pacific Coast Highway. There are going to be tons of turnoffs for you to take photos of the Bixby Bridge from several different viewpoints, and trust me, you'll want to take it from as many different angles as you can.
And also, you might like to stop at the Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park and see those magnificent tall redwoods. Yeah, and the oaks and sycamore trees. Or at the similarly named but different Julia Pfeiffer Burn State Park and see the 80-foot waterfall that drops right into the ocean from the Overlook Trail.
And it's a stunning waterfall. You don't want to miss it. And once you head south of Big Sur, there's really not many more stops along the way, but you're going to still see just exceptional coastline views. So make sure to fill up your gas tank in Big Sur and just enjoy the views all the way to San Simeon. And if you want to take a stop at Hearst Castle, by all means, take a tour of Hearst Castle.
That's the 115-room house with the 2 swimming pools that was constructed by William Randolph Hearst, the famous
newspaper magnate, of course.
Yes. And if you need one final stop, you want to check out Moonstone Beach in Cambria, where you'll find all these semi-precious stones like moonstones and jasper stones just along the beach. beach for the taking.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And then finally, PCH kind of takes you away from the coastline as you head toward San Luis Obispo. And this is where you just pick up California 101, and this takes you all the way into Santa Barbara. The views change, obviously, but you're going to start seeing all the beautiful California vineyards along the way, so you still have beautiful scenery to look at.
That sounds great. Well, we hope you have enjoyed our whirlwind tour of the
PCH, yep.
PCH. We could have covered so many more things, but we're going to put a lot more on the blog for you to visit and see what else you can see along that road.
Exactly. And you can always find us on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll have the addresses for all those at the end of the podcast.
And we'll see you next time on the coolest stuff on the planet.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit HowStuffWorks.com. And don't forget to check out our other podcasts, free, on iTunes.